Prepositions. Prepositions are words that show relationships between nouns and other words. Here are some examples of sentences using prepositions.
I have a bowl of cereal inside this dish for you.
This sentence has three prepositions. The first preposition of shows the relationship between the bowl and the cereal. The second preposition inside shows the relationship between the cereal and the dish. And the third preposition for shows the relationship between the dish and the pronoun you. Here's another example of a sentence using prepositions.
I will serve cherry slushy to you after supper.
This sentence has two prepositions. The first preposition to shows the relationship between the noun slushy and the pronoun you. The second preposition after shows the relationship between the noun supper and the verb serve. Prepositions connect and show relationships between all types of words, but remember there's always a noun being connected to a preposition. Prepositions show positions. This is one way that helps me to remember what prepositions are. The word position is in the word preposition. So if you can remember that, maybe you can remember that prepositions show positions. Here's an exercise to help you understand this. Where is the pencil in relation to the desk?
The pencil is on the desk.
On is the preposition here. It's showing the relationship between the pencil and the desk. The pencil is on the desk. Here's another one. Where is the pencil in relation to the desk?
The pencil's under the desk.
In this sentence, the preposition is under. It expresses the relationship between the pencil and the desk. The pencil is under the desk. Of course, you could use the prepositions underneath or below as well. And here's one more example. Where is the pencil in relation to the desk?
The pencil is inside the desk.
In this sentence, the preposition is inside. Again, it expresses the relationship between the desk and the pencil, showing us that the pencil is inside the desk. Prepositions don't just show positions in physical space. Prepositions also show positions in time. For example,
Recess is before lunch.
we have two nouns in this sentence, recess and lunch. The preposition before shows how they are related in time. In this case, recess comes before lunch.
Recess is after lunch.
This sentence expresses a different relationship between the noun recess and lunch. Now, recess is after lunch. And here's one more example.
Recess is during lunch.
And with a different preposition, we can now see a different relation between these two nouns in time. Now, recess is occurring at the same time as lunch. Here are some common prepositions.
About, above, across, after, against, along, around, as, at, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, by, down, during, except for, from, in, inside, into, like, near, next, of, off, on, out, outside, over, past, since, through, throughout, till, to, toward, under, underneath, unlike, until, up, upon, with, within, without.
There's quite a few prepositions, and it's hard to remember all of them, but if you can remember that they show relationships between nouns and other parts of speech, that will help you identify prepositions. Also, the prepositions listed in bold are some of the more common ones that you'll encounter. When constructing sentences, you have to be careful to remove redundant prepositions. Speakers may use two prepositions when only one is needed. And we should always be trying to clean up our language by removing prepositions that are redundant. Here are some examples of sentences with redundant prepositions.
Where did you go to school at?
The preposition at is redundant. The sentence would be better if it just said, where did you go to school? The preposition at is not necessary in this sentence.
The fat yellow boy was inside the cage.
In this sentence, the preposition of is redundant. The sentence would read better if it just said, the fat yellow bird was inside the cage. It means exactly the same thing. The preposition of adds nothing to the sentence, and it takes away from it by virtue of its redundancy. Here's one more example of a sentence with a redundant preposition.
Captain Katrina did not know where her dog went to.
Here, the preposition to is unnecessary. The sentence would read better if it just said, Captain Katrina did not know where her dog went. We should always strive to create sentences that do not have redundant prepositions. Here are some more examples of prepositions in sentences.
I will paint a masterpiece on this blank canvas.
Which word in this sentence is a preposition? On is the preposition in this sentence. It is expressing the relationship between the verb paint and the noun canvas. Here's another example of a sentence with a preposition.
DJ Jamie Green is performing at the pool party.
Which word in this sentence is a preposition? At is the preposition in this sentence. It is expressing the relationship between the verb phrase is performing and the noun pool party. Here's one more example of a sentence with a preposition.
I'm going to hide inside of my shell if things get too dangerous.
Which preposition in this sentence is redundant and should be removed? Of. The preposition of in this sentence is redundant. Without the preposition of, the sentence would read like this: I'll hide inside my shell if it gets too dangerous. The preposition of adds nothing to the sentence and in fact takes away from it by virtue of its redundancy. In review, prepositions show relationships between nouns and other parts of speech. Prepositions often show the positions of nouns in time and space. And one way to remember what prepositions do is because the word position is inside of preposition. Prepositions show positions. When constructing sentences, you should always try to avoid using redundant or unnecessary prepositions because they add nothing and consume space.